him known as Uriel, the Archangel that supports and aligns with the humanity and the life on the earth plane at these times and in all such times as the manifest has been decreed to be of value to the all, and here we are. So just as a clue for you, how will you manifest everything you want? It's not a secret. It's not a secret. First, follow the wisdoms shared by my brothers. Become clear and unattached to that which isn't serving. Open yourself up to accept the full health of the I am in you, the wholeness. Trust that your whole life purpose is as simple as I am here now. Then the manifest is about knowing that all these things live in your hand, whether you have a physical hand or not. That's the symbolism of it now. Everyone in this room has physical hands, but there are those who don't. So what do? Stumps? It doesn't matter. It's the idea that you hold things in the manifest of your consciousness. And what you are in need to do to create is to know, number one, it's already created. Everything is already created. It lives in the dimension of its greater need. And for you to bring it into the precipitated form that you will understand and live in alignment to requires next that you recognize the love you have for the thing that you want manifest. That you love it so much that you accept it in its full form as present. That you align to the present moment with it as if that's where it always has lived, in the now present form. It lives already in creation, right? So you, to be the creator, don't have to make up a whole new thing. You just have to call it forth. So it sounds easy. What do you think might be the hardest part of what I said? Loving it so much, because you have been programmed to think that loving a thing, an object, any form at all is somehow sacrilegious. It is somehow not a divine thing, and you don't want to love things, only love God, only love. You know, you made up a lot of stories about that. And so that's the barrier, that you are not yet always willing to love completely that which is the desire to bring forward into your creation now, into your manifest. So, love doesn't mean, I love ice cream. It doesn't mean love like that. It doesn't mean you love it so much that you really want it. It means that you love it so much you absolutely feel the frequency of the divine in its potentiality, and it plays in your potentiality. That's love. Love is not which is a lust, a desire which comes out of lack, but out of the absolute joy of oneness. So guess what you have to practice? Loving. Simple. Simple. Love. I want a new car. Well, I don't need a really fancy one. I don't want something that everybody's going to think that I might be. Whatever. You're wanting in the desire for that which serves more than whim, but serves everything wondrous in you, that you can feel excited and you feel the particles in your hands, the particles coming out of your eyes, and the particles of life coming to meet you and dance with you. All those particles can come to form and live in the manifest when you accept and acknowledge that dance and you play in it with love. How many of you in this life, in the bodies you now are wearing, can say you had an experience at any time, literally into your physical world, that you've seen a fairy, or felt a fairy, or heard a fairy, physically sensed a fairy? You have. You have. Do most of you believe that they might exist?
Mm-hmm.
What quality within you do you believe was the resonant, manifesting connector to witnessing a fairy?
Loving nature.
Loving the nature. Innocently wanting to be in the particle dance with all that. Who sees fairies? Mostly children. Adults will occasionally, if they're really open to that part of themselves which is open and curious and not afraid and not judging, right? So you manifest the world around you based on what you believe is possible. And you may think, well, if it requires me to create a manifest form by loving it, how is it that I've got all this stuff that I don't love in my life? Good question. Anybody want to venture an idea around that?
Attachment to the stuff.
Maybe.
Learning to love all as we get.
Right, you could learn that, but I mean, really, for now, if you have, see, what do you call it? A junk drawer in your home with lots of stuff and little things or duplicate things, and why is it all there? How did it manifest into your reality? Because you believe that others have created it and you acquired it. That was a belief. Mostly you drive a certain vehicle or you have a certain kind of amount of cash flow in your life based on what you believe others have created, and you get to acquire it by certain games that you play. Sometimes, occasionally, you actually will precipitate something magically, as things are called, into your life. You didn't even think you needed it or wanted it, but there it showed up. Or you did, but it was so secret. It must have been part of why they wrote that book, because you kept it so secret. But the world got it, and there it is in front of you. To manifest it all, though, you can't be separate from it. So that's what love is. No separation. That's what love is. No barriers. Do you want to live in a world now where every thought you have suddenly manifests in front of you? That's kind of scary, isn't it? They might write some science fiction things about all of that.
Forbidden Planet, 1950s, with I think Walter Pritchard, manifested what he was thinking.
Exactly. And then it was updated into the 1960s in Star Trek. And so that's been shown to you many times. Be careful what you put your attention to, right? So while there's a wisdom in becoming aware of your thoughts and your secret fears and desires, it's not about fearing that. Awareness isn't about fearing it. So sometimes that's been the crossed teaching. It's not quite lined up. You've had stuff show up that you didn't think you wanted, and there it was. And every now and then you get something you think you wanted, and you got lucky enough to get it, right? So I'm telling you something that's so important. So I'm not inviting you to go home now and practice. thinking the loving, loving thought about your banana cream pie or something, and that just shows up. It's not about practicing that. It's about practicing loving. You want to have great relationships manifest in your life? Love, love, love. And as all the sages have said, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. Manifest into the physical world. It's not just about stuff precipitating into form. It's about recognizing there is no separation between the form and the formless. Tricky stuff. That's very deep metaphysical thinking, isn't it? So, how did I get this as the creator tool? Because it is seen that there is a groundedness that is thought of as a necessary evil at times among my spiritual thinking friends. If you're not grounded, drive yourself into a wall. If you're not grounded, something bad will happen. I guess it's something we have to do, and I'd rather be living life in the nice angelic world. So your groundedness, your earthness, has to be seen as this exquisite frequency of love. Manifest out of love. For the love of it. For the very love of itself, and the love that has been expressed for it to be here. When you and the earth are one, because you do not give yourself a lot of time to play in the, I don't want to live in 3D, I only want to live in 5D. Do you know anybody who thinks that or who's pronouncing that? I'm now living only in 5D. Well, you're not. Sorry. You're not only living in 5D while you walk around the world and you are doing services and exchanging money and having these things occur and you're reading books and you're having conversation. That's not all 5D. But what's the problem? The many dimensional frequencies aren't better because the number goes up. It's just different. It's refined perception. And if you were all in 5D, you would be frequencing in such a way that you may or may not pop in and out of physical. But here you are. So learn to love it. Love it.